Tapi the
Yeah.
way we try to look into it, we try to list out sebenarnya what is the biggest pain point, what is the second, what is the third. And with that in mind, kita biasanya will invest in a company that try to solve the biggest pain point. Karena we believe that's actually the potential there.
PC Talks kembali hadir bersama saya Yeni Yusra, dan kali ini kita akan berbincang-bincang dengan Openspace Ventures. Sudah hadir bersama kita Tania. Hai Tania.
Halo Yeni, hi Dailysocial. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having us also. Sebelum kita dive into the conversation, mungkin Tania bisa menjelaskan jabatannya Tania di Openspace Ventures itu apa, dan apa sih sebenarnya Openspace Ventures?
Yeah, happy to. So I'm part of the investment team of Openspace Ventures. We are Southeast Asia-based fund, so we only invest in startups in this region, operationally here. But we are actually Series A to B investor. Jadi biasanya our sweet spot itu ranges from $3 to $5 million. But we are quite flexible, meaning that we can always invest lower than 3, we can always invest higher than 5. It's just that kita typically look for startup at that stage, Series A to B.
Kalau kita lihat portofolio Openspace Ventures itu cukup random ya. Ada SaaS, ada agriculture juga, ada groceries juga, seperti itu yang di belakangnya Tania ya. Mungkin Tania bisa jelaskan beberapa portofolio dari Openspace Venture untuk di Indonesia sendiri apa aja sih?
So as you mentioned, the background here is the kayak lemari yang isinya all the portfolio companies. Tapi to share more background on that, jadi kita sekarang ada 3 funds in total with over $450 million committed capital. And we were going to that final close of our third fund before the end of this year. So because of that, sekarang ini kita udah ada over 33 portfolio companies in our network. Jadi kalau di Indonesia sendiri, kita itu ada sekitar, let me think. So we have 9 in total. Jadi we were the Series A investor of Gojek. We are also the Series A investor of Halodoc, also the Series A investor of Tani Hub Group, and the rest like Sweet Escape, Credipo, Sorabel Group, and then GoPlay. And the latest investment that we just made was iSeller, which is an SaaS company. And there are another 2 companies that has yet to be announced, so look for it. But I guess to mention, we are quite sector agnostic that way. We do into every sectors and into every verticals.
When it comes to creating the right startups to be funded, what is exactly Openspace Ventures category? Kalau tadi kan kita lihat kan itu cukup random, tapi dari tim Openspace Ventures sendiri menyesuaikan tren kah, atau menyesuaikan model bisnis yang memang ternyata profitable, no longer thinking about growth, atau mungkin the next 1 or 2 years ada beberapa kategori secara spesifik yang diincar oleh Tania dan tim?
Iya, jadi kalau misalkan kita ngelihat dari the thing about the trend right now, right? People lebih kayak revenue driven as compared to GMV driven. Yes. I think itu impact dari external factors of how a lot of companies are just burning cash to gain that ecosystem tanpa thinking on how to monetize it, right? Tapi I guess for Openspace, we really look into the fundamental at the end. Jadi if we look into the bigger picture, kita always try to think, the first thing is that what is the pain point that the business is trying to solve? I think I've mentioned this every time I ask the startup, what are you trying to solve? If you're like in financial service sector, what is the pain point you're trying to solve, right? Or how your business can actually help that. Now, usually when we look into a specific sector, we trying to see what is the real issue in that sector. Only by understanding what is the real issue, we will then know whether the business that we're talking with actually trying to solve the right issue. Jadi in the sector itself kan there are many pain points, right? It's not only one. Tapi the way we try to look into it, we try to list out sebenarnya what is the biggest pain point, what is the second, what is the third. And with that in mind, kita biasanya will invest in a company that try to solve the biggest pain point. Karena we believe that's actually the potential there.
Yes.
But kita udah invest in that company, and then we see that there's another business that trying to solve the second, the third, and it's complementary to the first one, we might invest in that. Tapi we don't usually invest in a conflicting business model. And I guess when you were asking about the trend juga ya Yeni,
Yeah.
I think it's not because of a trend, but it's more because karena say sektor agriculture contohnya.
Yeah.
I feel like sekarang karena COVID, it actually kind of like impact the sector positive, right? In a very positive way. People dulu have this perception that grocery shopping needs to be done offline.
Yes.
But because of COVID, like there's like a lockdown imposed, you're not allowed to go out, then people start to become more open and shift their behavior to adopt that online shopping. So I feel like that's why agriculture suddenly becomes a very huge thing amongst investor, amongst all these entrepreneurs, because it's just at the right time, at the right time, at this point of time as well. And that's what we also call the inflection point. So I guess the second thing that we look into business is that whether that business is currently almost reaching that inflection point. We don't want them to reach that inflection point just yet, because at that time the valuation might be too expensive for our fund. But we do look into that timing where when we invest as the serious investor, we can help the companies and then grow together and help them reach the inflection point and then grow exponentially after that.
Okay, wow. So when it comes to the development of Indonesian startups founders in Indonesia right now, do you see Indonesian startup founder more mature now comparing to probably 3 or 4 years ago? And compared to other startup founders outside Indonesia, how do you see the similarity or the biggest, the biggest thing that differentiates between Indonesian founder and outside startup founder from Indonesia, outside Indonesia?
Yeah, okay. On that one, I feel actually 3 to 4 years ago, there are 4 unicorns in Indonesia right now, right?
Yeah.
And they were actually born over 4 years ago. So I would have to say that it's not about the attitude of the founder, but it's more about the potential and the market out, not market size, but they're at the right time to really build that unicorn. Right now, it's quite fragmented in a way that if you want to become unicorn, you want to scale, you have to have another creative way to achieve it. You need to have extra perseverance. You need to be more tenacious. All those kind of factors that in the past you might not need it because the market is just there. Competition is not as crowded as today. But today, you need to actually have extra grit, in my opinion. I feel that one thing that a lot of founders don't really have nowadays is that they don't really adopt the financial discipline attitude, because I feel maybe now they feel like there's a lot of VCs, a lot of funding, and they feel like it's easy to actually get all those things. They become they become less in terms of becoming disciplined in the way they execute things, especially in their like financial reporting and stuff. But all of this stuff, I feel like it's very fundamental and very important if you want to grow a huge business.
But do you see that these days the important things is survival instead of IPO or being one of the unicorn startups? What do you think about that? Survival is the most important thing for startups these days, right? Yeah. Instead of unicorn, IPO, exit, stuff like that. Or correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it comes back down to the state of capital market in Indonesia. There's a reason why it's just hard to become listed in the country, and not only that it's hard, it's just that the capital market itself is not as mature as the developed country. And this is the reason a lot of companies are trying to get, not companies in Indonesia, but companies in China even got listed in the United States, right? It's just because the capital market is very mature there. If we're talking about exit in Indonesia, it's a bit tricky, but it really comes back down to the state of the company. Like I would say the unicorns right now, they are aiming to become listed because it's just the way to go. You want to become listed because you want to grow even further, and that's only possible if you're like a public company. There's so much you can achieve with becoming a private companies. But I guess for the early stage investors, we also have secondary as our way of exit, right? So it really comes back down to the state of the company and essentially what the company aims to do. At the end of the day, if the company can actually get acquired by another huge company and then create an even more big ecosystem, I feel that it's a good exit as well.
Oh, okay. So you've talked a lot about Openspace Ventures and what kind of startup that you are targeting. What does it take for startup founders to get noticed from Tania and also Openspace Ventures? Does it have to be a good, complete pack of pitch deck, or a good presentation, or a good online presence or offline presence? What does it take for them to get noticed from Tania?
Okay, so coming back to what I just mentioned, first know what pain points you're trying to solve. That's very, very important. Like you need to know what you're trying to do there. Like what if it's not like solving pain points, how you're going to help the society, let's say. Right. A lot of founders don't really know how to explain this because I feel they very focus on, say, giving up market size. But market size is always huge, right? It's not always the market size. And at the end of the day, there's also this component called that obtainable market. And this obtainable market, they give out number, but I feel a lot of founders underestimate the execution risk. I feel
they can talk numbers, but when it comes to execution, such a low effort, right?
Yeah, because they want to aim high, which is fine. That's the thing about startup, right? Like higher risk, higher return. But I feel like I actually prefer if the founders really understand their go-to-market strategy and really have that plan, well planned out execution on really how to achieve that attainable market.
Last but not least, Openspace Ventures is one of the startups that are not postpone its investment plan, right? You're still looking for startup. You're still planning on give funding to startups, or do you see next year will be more funding that you will announce, or just 2 at the moment until next year?
No, actually it's the right timing. We just as mentioned, we just got our third fund, right? Of 200 million committed capital, so that gives us extra firepower to invest during this period of time. So we're looking, as mentioned, we have another two investment, to be announced by the end of this year. So we're looking to invest more in Indonesia and other region as well.
Okay, thank you, Tania, for your time. Hopefully, you can give a daily social information about the upcoming funding, right? Hopefully by the end of this year, right?
Yep, we'll do for sure.
Indonesian startup?
Dailysocial again.
Indonesian startup?
Yeah, Indonesia.
Yay! Okay. Can't wait for the press release to be for Dailysocial.
Okay.
Thank you, Tania, and hopefully you have a good day for working from home still, for Openspace Ventures. Okay, and looking forward for funding news from Openspace Ventures. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.